All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to From the Tabletop, the TTRPG broadcast from the League of Extraordinarily OK Gamers. I'm the Wraith, your host and GM, and I'm stoked you're here and tuning in for another session of the Dawns Our Voyage Holds. Today we also get to hang out with Guy Fox 88
Hello.
and Hawkeye 412-4.
No, do it right. Do it right.
4,124.
Nope, nope,
Um,
no. I'm see ya.
all right, and he's out. Um, okay, so all right, so we have just the two of you, Matthos and Fawyt, after the events of what even went on at the end of last time. We did a thing, and you came back, and refugees, um, and all that fun stuff. Um, and yeah, and Rickless welcomed you back to the ship, back to the horizons and everything, and it's all great. Um, so let's real quick breeze through alignment and just the bonds with each other is fine. I do want to go through those though because I think they'll be probably maybe important. So that's Brack. That's not either of you. Fawit, let's start with you.
My alignment is lawful, and it is to deny mercy to a criminal or unbeliever. And then
Mm-hmm.
my bond with Matthos is he is more able than he realizes. He can match me in speed, but he needs the push to make use of it more. I have the skill to bring that out in him.
Fantastic. And Mathos.
Well, you're about to put that alignment to the test. My alignment is whatever I say it is, and my bond with Fawyt, impressed by skills and dexterity, and I want to try to learn from her. I need a trainer to be parkour master.
Parkour. Okay. So so you guys are back on the ship. And here's I guess an important question to sort of set all of this off. So Rickless has informed you, Mathos, that he's found a spot for this sort of makeshift brig with the little time that you guys were away, and has Kolvar, the Armada spy, in in holding there. So do you guys want to deal with that like right away, or do you want to like let him stew a little bit, or what's your kind of feeling there?
I think I'm just gonna kind of waltz right in there.
Okay, great. Um, so
Fawyt, if you want to just kind of hang back for a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do this the easy way.
so
Okay.
great. So if that's your intention, I just want to make sure we get everything kind of set up here. So trying to remember what time of day we were around because you guys made camp and then came back and then had a couple meetings. So we're probably if you want to do this the same day, we're probably on into evening by this point. Um, did you eat dinner? Did you eat a meal before this?
I am eating dinner while I walk in the room because I've got some good Foley for that.
Beautiful. um, great. So, on your way down, so grabbing some food from the, uh, I'm guessing from the kind of mess hall building that's up in the upper village. I think we decided. Um, on your way down, there's at this point there's the ship is still kind of sparsely um inhabited by people. I mean, you've got your crew of sailors that you had hired. They are probably kind of in and out at this point. Haven't you know you've been quote unquote docked here for a little while. Um, so I mean, I guess Fawyt, you're probably better at telling me what sailors do when their ships are docked than I
Get
would be
very,
able
very
to.
drunk.
So probably,
I mean, yeah, mostly.
would they do that on on the ship, or would they do that in the town? I mean, I guess that's depending upon if they're this
I
wild.
mean, it'd probably be in the town.
Okay, all right. Well, so probably at least. So most of them will say there's probably maybe a couple chilling here uh, in the bar, uh, or in the galley, the large building that is acting as the galley at this point. Um, but otherwise, you've got some of the families of the merchants and people that are starting to settle in. Probably claiming, making claim. Some of the families making claim to some little houses that they've deemed safe here up in the upper village, stuff like that. Just throwing some good color in here. But anyway, so you grab your meal. Did you ask Fawyt to come with you to get your food, or what did that look like?
Yeah, I think I was like, hey, I'm gonna grab a bite if you want to come with before we get there. You're more than welcome to. Otherwise, I'll meet you there.
What was your plan of choice there then, Fawyt?
Um, I think she'd go with.
Okay.
I think I took care of that leveling up thing earlier, I believe. The new move I took.
Oh, okay. Which was that?
The one that is funeral mask.
Oh, right, right,
Ooh.
right, right, right.
Oh.
So doing the stuff with the workshop and such.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, oh, actually, can I can I convince you to hold that off for a little bit? That's
Yeah,
a
sure.
weird thing for me to ask, but um, uh, if yeah,
I didn't see. I mean, I'm not seeing a reason in the immediate future to need to use that.
hmm
So,
yeah, let's say that then. So on the way down, the two of you, so Matthos is sauntering along with your bowl of stew or whatever, and
Perfect.
Fawyt is following along through the village section of this, and as you're walking down on your way, you get met by um, Nylarenthi, who has come looking for you. Nylarenthi, if you remember, is the female Barblish craftswoman who was part of this group of refugees that you messaged. That's not the word. Rescued. Um, and she kind of clearly has been looking around for you, and finds, or looking around for someone at least, and comes across the two of you, um, and comes up and asks if you have a brief moment to just talk.
Is it important?
I promise this will not take long. I I wanted to first of all to thank you for what you did for me and the others. And in light of that, I was talking with a few of them, and if it's if it would be agreeable, we'd like to join you on the ship.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have a job for you.
Oh, um, uh, okay, okay. Do tell.
So we have another set of companions that are MIA at the moment.
I see.
Can you find out what they were going to do, where they were going, and why they haven't returned? Because I think we're going to need to go after them.
I I can certainly try. I can't say that this is necessarily in my area of expertise, but I will see what I can do.
What is your area of expertise?
I'm a craftsperson.
Oh,
Primary.
we need that too, but I need this to start with
I understood.
because it just dawned on me that we haven't seen them in like weeks, and I have the feeling that one of them's not going to be coming back, and we're going to have to go rescue them.
I see. Troubling indeed. Well, anyway, yes. So I thank you. If it was myself and Vanmer, who I believe you met.
I'm really bad with names.
Vanmer is the Hawkman.
Aha! Yes, actually he would probably be the best for this because the gentleman that we're looking for speaks to animals.
Aha.
That's not racist.
um. Uh. Great. I will talk to him and a few of the others that were interested in joining as well, and
Awesome.
we will see what we can do.
If you need anything else, find Rickless. He will set you up with anything and everything that you need.
I will do that. Thank you. And you can see a pretty bright smile sort of flash over her face real quick as she turns around and walks off.
Timeout from the game. It is snowing like a motherfucker right now.
What?
What?
Yes,
That's bizarre.
it is snowing hard.
That's disgusting.
Is it that cold out?
It's 34 degrees.
Wow, that's weird. In the middle of April.
I hate Iowa.
All right, let me just make a quick note of that.
In like 5 months, I'm gonna live where it never snows.
You're going to San Diego.
Nah, I wish, Georgia.
If you get like a dusting down there, people lose their fucking mind.
Dude,
man.
that's how Virginia is.
Okay. All right. So, and then right. So when you had gotten the message back from Taryn, who is the other guy, this person's partner in the Communer's Chosen, you had said that you were going to try and take care of this yourself first. Is that correct? Am I remembering that properly?
Yeah, and I would send him a message as soon as I either A, needed assistance, or B, it was dealt with.
Fantastic. Okay, so you guys are on your way down, and did we? No, we have not established this. Where do we think this sort of brig slash makeshift brig is set up? I'm open to potential suggestions in terms of the area of the ship.
I feel like it's
Deep.
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 Yeah, deepest, darkest,
So
dingiest.
down somewhere in the Foundation area. So so I'm guessing you probably need Rickless to meet up with Rickless to have him, or someone at least, to have them tell you where this is to
Probably.
get you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think meeting up with Rickless makes the most sense, since you probably want to try and keep this as kind of closed as possible.
Yep.
So you meet up with Rickless, sort of down a little bit past the bridge, and start working your way down through the big sort of stone foundation area, as he's calling it, and you they've got he's Rickless is carrying no, you know what he's doing? He's got like an animantic light. I forget if I have written down what his elements are somewhere, but he's kind of holding up a little ball of animantic light, like uh white flame, and he's guiding you through these paths, and it's like probably after a couple minutes, I think you guys, even if you're trying really hard to keep your sense of direction, it's really easy to get yourself lost down here. Um, and there's, as you're passing, huge corridors that go off in other directions, and um, rooms that look like they could be like partially uh, collapsed or caved in or something, and there's these like I said, these sort of weird effects going on in this, where there's almost like these sort of waves and stripes of areas where that look just absolutely pristine, and like they had been built an hour ago, um, and sort of really sharp um, lines and wavy lines in places where these sort of some kind of weird magic has torn the next section just completely into the territory of being thousands of years old, um, and just it gets kind of a little bit unnerving down here, because you can't you've certainly lost all uh, contact with sunlight by this point. Um, it's I think it's very very quiet down here, and like even in these some of these big hallways that you're going through, the sounds of your footsteps are muffled, um, and they sort of uh, sound and echo in strange ways depending upon where you're walking. Um, but finally, he brings you to um, a set of doors, and opens one of them and says to you, "This was the best we could find. It took us a bit, but I think you'll find that it should suit your purposes for now, anyway." Um, and he opens that door and sort of gestures you in, and says, "I will wait here if you need anything." And
Perfect. Don't let anybody but myself or Fawyt in or out.
gives a nod, and I think probably looks a little bit uneasy. He's trying to put on a brave face, but I think it's
Listen,
this kind of place is getting to him a little bit down here as well.
if this isn't pleasant for you, you may go up. Just make sure nobody comes down.
And he gives another nod. So you immediately through these doors, there's a fairly large, mostly empty room. There's the most of this area is that very very decayed, um, ancient looking. There's big like chunks out of some of the walls, and little piles of what could have been some kind of furniture or something. It's really almost impossible to tell. And then towards the back of the room are the back of this area are these sort of small cordoned off rooms, um, and a few of them are sort of within stripes of this more pristine uh, kind of time stuff, and one of the doors that you can see has a little a light through it, but they're pretty thick doors. It probably weren't necessarily built for the purposes of a prison, but there's a big kind of metal bar, uh, sort of thrown over the front of it to keep it from opening, and they've tried to make do with what they've had here. So what are you guys doing?
Oh, you just want to wait here for a minute while I go see if I can't just make this quick and easy? I say to Fawyt.
Yeah, and I feel like Foot would just sort of like lean up against a wall. She doesn't seem to be entirely out of place.
All right, so Matthos, you go in, you
Beautiful.
pull the bar off of this door, and you waltz in there, chowing on some stew. And there is on either side on the walls, there's lights put up, um, and in the there's a small kind of cot down on one side, and a chair and a bucket, and you see sort of over on the corner of this little cot leaning against a wall is this figure of Kolvar. Um, he he is um, a fairly tall
Excuse
person,
me.
um, and uh, where did my thing go? There you are. Yeah, he's probably sort of mid 40s ish. He's like a tan skin, mid length, kind of dark hair, which is pretty gross at this point. It's all kind of like sweaty and just sort of like hanging loosely around his face. But he's kind of tall and more on the lanky side, and so he just kind of sort of leaned out and stretched back on this little cot. Um, and there's uh, on his right arm, you can see this big kind of glove type thing, sort of a cross between a big glove and like a cast. So he can't move, basically, and move any of the fingers on his right arm, and that's got locks and stuff on it. And as you walk in, he looks up and sees you, and you can see it takes just a second to see him recognize you, because he's in a little bit of um, uh, a state, I guess. But he's very his face is very stoic, and you see that bit of recognition, and it just gives it kind of a low chuckle, um, and waits for you to speak.
Hungry?
I live.
Suit yourself. We can make this quick and easy, right? Like, we don't need to go through the whole rigmarole of, I stab you 15 times, I threaten you with stuff that you don't really care about. You just tell me what I need to know, and we'll be done.
I think we already did the stabbing, didn't we?
Yeah, and we can do it again.
I don't see what it's going to get you.
I just want to know who you're working for, why you were at the place you were at, and what were you looking for? 3 questions.
He just stares at you.
I'm just going to stare right back.
I don't see how you think this is going to go. You think I'm just going to give you everything? What
Mm,
what
Me or
reason
another.
what reason could I possibly have to give you anything?
You have family, friends, you just want to live. What I could do is just bring your old partner down here, because he is really, really, really itching to just come in here.
I imagine he
You want to see
is.
that look of disappointment on his face? We can arrange that.
I would relish it.
Okay. Well, have it your way then. You sure you don't want some food before this all begins?
He just kind of turns away and rolls back over on his cot.
Okay. And that's it for me. Fwit? Your turn.
All right. So you said that out loud, I'm assuming. So I'm just gonna walk in. Can I discern realities really quick?
Sure, absolutely.
I just want to figure out what's important to him.
Okay. Um, let's do this. Give me that roll, and then that sounds more. That sounds to me like you would need more than just like kind of looking at him or uh that sounds to me something that you're going to have to ask some questions or whatever. So make
Yeah.
make the roll, and then let's kind of have that
Can I do
conversation.
in
And
intelligence, maybe?
what's you have a move that messes with that, doesn't it? Because discern
No.
realities is supposed to be wisdom, right? I thought you had a
Oh,
move that was it stakeout? You can discern realities with int. Yeah, I don't. This doesn't sound like a
yeah,
stakeout to me, because stakeout I think is a much more passive.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's
All right.
wisdom.
Yeah, I still want to try discern realities just so I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
figure out
Sure.
like what direction I need to go with this. And it's XP.
Nice. XP.
Yep.
All
Um,
right. So what do you do when you walk in the room?
Can I aid that?
I think first thing I'll do is ask Matthos like, do we need him to speak or anything else?
Yeah, he probably needs to be able to talk at least for a little bit.
And Mathis, I think unless you're coming in the room with her, I think that uh, then that precludes you aiding
Oh,
this.
I wasn't gonna leave.
Okay.
I was just gonna go like stand by the door against the wall, flipping a dagger.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Roll an aid.
Why won't it roll? What is happening?
Is it asking you for?
No, it's not even. It should bring a pop-up up. There we go.
Okay.
Oh damn.
That's a lot. Um, that's that's really good. Okay.
That's a maxed out roll.
So that's a
It's
14.
perfect.
So that will bring this up to a 6, or sorry, up to a 7. So you get to answer. You get to ask one question, right? I believe is
Hmm.
what you get on the a 7 to 9. I have a paper. I have a paper right
Yeah.
here. I can tell you that. I don't know why I'm asking you. Discern realities. From 7 to 9, ask 1. Take +1 forward when acting on the answers. So I am perfectly happy to kind of play this conversation out a little bit, and then when you are sort of getting to the point where you're looking for the specific answer to one of these questions here, you can let me know, and we'll kind of go from there. Does that make sense? Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
Um, great. So Fawyt walks in the room. Matthos is chilling at the door, picking his fingernails with his dagger.
Yep, that
What?
seems about right.
I think I don't think she or I did exactly have the axes out yet, but maybe like making them more visible than I normally would,
Okay.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
a show of it. And uh because I'm assuming his arm is like shackled and stuff because he's an animancer,
Yeah.
right,
Mm-hmm.
Matthos? Um so I want to walk over like near that arm
Okay.
and watch his reaction. Essentially what I'm trying to find out is for him, because I don't think he actually cares about any sort of family or like connections at all.
Okay.
I just want to see if maybe his ability to do animancy is the most important thing to him.
Okay.
So I almost want to say like what here is useful or valuable to me
Yep, that's
would probably be the
good.
best question because that would give me the leverage on him.
Okay. Okay. Um, great. So, so yeah. So what is useful in terms of potential
Yeah.
leverage? Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, great. So what are you saying to him?
I feel like Fawyt's style is more to not say anything.
Okay. Um, yeah, like I said, I think there needs to be something said in order to get this kind of information.
Mm,
Especially, I mean, if you're you can I think you can probably get a lot, or you can get some things judging from reactions and whatnot, but you'll need to poke a little bit to see what those reactions are, if that makes sense.
mm, yeah. Just trying to think of like, because like I don't want to be like super outright threatening,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time like super threatening.
Right.
Um. Oh, I could. All right, I'll be like, um, we're somewhat new to this world. Animancy can only be done with the right arm, correct?
He sort of I think you just from the way you sort of entered the room and he kind of is still mostly sort of laying there, but you can see him looking at you as you walk in, and you can tell that he's got a pretty strong poker face as you're going through. Um, but when you say that, you can see the faintest hint of a sort of questioning. The kind of expression that would be someone sort of like cocking their head and raising an eyebrow, but a lot more subtle than that. Um, and he takes a second and then sits back up and just stares back at you for a moment. I
Um,
think trying to gauge if he's trying to get a read back on you right now as well. Um, and he holds up his left hand um, and says, "Mostly."
Out of character, Dan. I couldn't remember if it
Hmm.
was the left or the right hand.
It's usually yeah, usually the right, because the right hand is where you have like your bracelet thing, which I think it's safe to assume that he would not have his on underneath of this. But you have those little tattoo things on the inside of your right hand. So the right is your um kind of dominant, um but most of uh the faculty with animancy is being able to sort of make little patterns and stuff with your fingers. So having his right hand locked into this cast like this is a huge inhibitor um, with that.
So I think the next thing I'd say is if anyone in this room is used to being a tool for someone larger than yourself, it's me. And I know exactly what's done with tools when they can't serve the purpose that they were created for.
He starts to give a sort of small and slow nod, and looks back over to you, Matthos, and nods back towards Fawyt and says, "This one understands." And looks back to you, Fawyt. So where does that leave me?
You give us what we want, and maybe you still have a use. But if you don't, we kill you or someone else does. The outcome's the same.
There's no wondering on my part as far as whether I live or not. If I get out of here, I won't make it far.
No, you won't.
I don't have to be reminded of that. And I don't see how my situation in here is much improved. But I think you can see, like I said, I think he does have a strong poker face, but I think there's just that little bit of you know twitch at the corner of his mouth or at the corner of his eye, or that slight dart in his eye, that I think you studying him so closely, there's just that little bit, that I think you notice that you've hit on something there. In terms of what is valuable to you as far as leverage, like this is probably the the line of questioning that is going to give you the most leverage with him, because yeah, he knows that he's anything he does here, he's going to get. He is on the Armada's blacklist right now for getting captured for whatever. Like you said, that he's of no more use as a tool.
Yeah.
To them.
All right.
Perfect. So
So
you're saying we have leverage.
we
That's what I'm
can't
hearing.
kill him.
Yes.
The only thing that's going to sway him is if we don't kill him
Yeah. No. That's
and we protect him from the Armada, which is fine because we're going to fight him anyway.
What do you want from us? Name your price. Is it your life? Food, water, security?
Did you not hear me?
I think I'll look at Matthos and be like, it won't be any of those.
My life is forfeit. The moment the Armada realizes that I've been captured, there is no safe place for me.
You're here, aren't you?
This will not last.
Ha.
What if it could?
Matthos, I see you making a move there. So you're rolling a parlay. What's your what's your?
I don't even know if that'll change the outcome.
It
It
won't.
wouldn't.
But what's your intention here, Matthos?
Basically, I'm asking them name what we can do to make this work. And that's what we're gonna do.
Okay. What is making it work look like in your
So I'm gonna ask him. Do you realize where you are right now?
I'm not sure I have to.
No, seriously. You just take a stab. Where are you? Are you in a town?
I'm in the bowels of something unnatural. I know that much.
You probably didn't see a whole lot when you came down here, yeah?
He doesn't respond to that.
Do you know what a question carved from disregard is? Probably not, because it's a stupid name, and I don't know who came up with it.
Would he know what that is? No, I don't think. Because that was the
That was the shitty
little
ship.
ship that you guys blew up.
Oh, what's this one?
This is the Horizons, of
Horizons.
Infinite
Oh yeah,
Correlation.
the Horizons. That's what I said.
This big one
Retcon
right
that.
there. uh, he doesn't respond again.
If I told you you were on a massive, probably the biggest ship this world has ever seen, the most powerful ship this world has ever seen, captained by the no, I won't. No. Anyway, you're on a giant fucking ship. They're not coming.
You see him kind of take a purposeful sort of peek out the door into the room out there that's sort of all messed up and piles of dust and whatever. And he looks back at you and sort of does a half little chuckle and be truly powerful. It seems
Well, you
you've got
haven't seen the rest of this.
It seems you have a ways yet to reach that.
Do we though? Listen, the offer's on the table. You want to escape? You want to live? You want somewhere safe? We have that. But it's not going to last.
What is it you're proposing exactly?
Help us.
Help you do what?
Kill them. All of them. Every last one of them.
If there's no armada, they can't come for you.
I think there you see him betray himself slowly with a bit of a sort of grinding his jaw tightens. And he sort of drops his head. And you rolled a 7 on your parlay, so they ask you for something and do it if you make them a promise, but they ask you for something and do it if you make them a promise, but they need I'm so confused by the prepositions or the pronouns on this. But they need concrete assurance of your promise right now. So basically he's so he sort of hangs his head for a second. And he looks up and says, even if I were willing to believe you, I cannot believe that something in this state could ever hope to take on the Armada. As enormous as it might be, enormity does not equal power.
What's his name again? I totally blanked.
Kolvar? I'll
Kolvar.
type it in chat.
So be it. Kolvar. What in this world do you know that can stop a horde of Galwalkers?
Horde. Very little.
We'll add this ship to that list.
I heard the
It's
stories.
already done it.
I heard the stories.
So
Stopping is one thing. But last I heard, Third Shoulder was still overrun. This is exactly my point. You may think you have the most powerful thing on this land, but in its current state, in your current... all you can do with this is divert the tide. You cannot yet stop it. And until you can, I think I'll stay right here.
No, I don't think you will.
Fine. Kill me then.
Oh no, that's too easy.
I expected as much. You asked what I wanted. I have told you. Otherwise, do what you will. So basically, to put it in plainer terms, I guess, in terms of this role. So you asked him to join you. He is reluctant to do so because he's worried about what the Armada is going to do. But he doesn't believe that at the sort of current running capacity that you're at, that you actually have the strength to take on the Armada. So until you know get your power level up, he is not going to be willing to change sides.
Not that I necessarily wanted him working for us. I just didn't want him working against us. Well, shit. Now what?
Well, I mean, in that respect, you've got him captive down here.
All he has is a cot down here, yeah?
Mm-hmm. And a chair and a bucket.
Hmm.
Um,
So what are you doing? Are you leaving him for now? Are you going to try another tack? I mean, I guess to be plain about it, I think between the two of you, um, unless you're looking to try something more extreme here, I think you've probably exhausted what you can do, at least just from talking.
That was my fear.
it's like I want to do something extreme, but at the same time, like I don't know if
Right?
it would even get a reaction out of him.
I mean, he might be in pain, but is he really going to answer any of our questions after that?
Yeah, I mean,
Is he
no.
ever going to be willing to?
I don't know. I mean, that's, well, I should say you don't know. Any thoughts?
Mm.
I retcon everything I've done
Nope. I don't think that's how
because
this works.
I should have. Well, it wouldn't have mattered anyway if I roll that shitty.
Well, that's also persuading someone to believe a partial or half truth.
Right, we
Yeah.
partially have the most powerful ship in the world. We're just not quite there yet.
I mean, I'm also willing to say if you want to, to have that be a first encounter and then, let this stretch a little bit and come back and visit him later, or multiple times later, we can sort of abstract this out a little bit if that's a tack you guys want to take.
I don't think I want to resort to Fawyt torturing him quite yet.
Okay.
Am I wrong
I
in
mean,
thinking
I
that?
don't even want to resort to that.
Um,
I mean, is is that
I,
is that
I think
true to the
there is a
character though?
conversation. That's a good question.
That's my kind of question here. I mean,
Does Fawyt want to just torture the shit out of this individual?
judging from, here's what I think this is. Judging from your alignment, the way it is written, uh, that there's a part of that seems pretty clear to me. So I think that either means uh, that you go about trying to satisfy that alignment somehow, or uh, there's there's the option of looking into, um, seeing if that alignment is changed or changing. Either of those I think is interesting. So, but does that sound unfair or untrue? I guess.
Well, I think I've been leaning Fawyt into more. I don't think she has such a black and white view of like criminals now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think almost it might be more that she wants people to earn mercy from her. And if they can't, she won't provide it.
Hmm. So do you see that as a distinction from what your alignment is written as now, or what her beliefs have been in the past, or what they were up until relatively recent, or is that just some kind of, uh, you know, I
I would
guess.
I would say yeah, just because, you know, essentially she was just a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Like 100%, like pretty much a thoughtless weapon.
Yeah.
Just you're given a task, you go do it, you don't ask questions. But
So
now she has to ask questions because
yeah.
no one is telling her what to do.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
and I think Matthos kind of picked up on part of that conversation that she had with Kolvar,
Sure.
and I need to have a conversation with Foot when we step outside this room.
Okay. So I guess that's the question then. Is, Fawyt confronted with that situation, um, is your, is it a situation where like your sort of instinct is telling you to go do this thing. But then you find yourself like unwilling to, or recoiling for that, or questioning that, or something. Like, is this the point at which you, like you said, you start to ask those, like really start to ask those questions and find your, find your alignment changing, to speak in mechanical terms, or
Yeah, I think, and the way I guess the thought process, or the way that would like flesh itself out story wise in the head is like she knows if this situation happened back with I'm just going to say the church,
mhm,
um she would be required to kill this guy.
yeah,
But in this situation, literally nothing would be gained by doing that.
mhm,
So, you know, denying him mercy, i.e., just, torturing him for information, most likely killing him, would get her and, therefore everyone else absolutely nowhere.
mhm,
They'd be in the exact same situation they were in before with no way of getting, information that could help them against the armada.
yeah. So here's an interesting distinction there, then, that I want to make sure we understand with
And to
Fawyt.
some extent, he's also exactly like her
Yeah.
back in the day.
Mhm. Um, so here's the thing I want to make sure we make the clear distinction of, is the reason she doesn't want to, torture, kill, whatever, him right now, because she's finding it, like, uh distasteful in a moral way, or it's distasteful because of the calculus of it, basically.
Mm.
Because that, I think, is a very interesting and important distinction to make.
Yeah, see, I don't see her having issues killing.
Hmm. So you don't think it's a morality thing right now?
I don't think so.
Okay. So that to me that says to me that your alignment is still, like, mostly right. There maybe there just needs to be some, like, slight tweaking of the wording or something, um, but yeah. But I think the point that is the inflection point here that is interesting, even if she's still in that sort of mode where, like, I'm not killing this guy uh because it's like I said, not going to gain us anything. Um, but that she's the inflection point for her here is that she is willing to be the one to say for herself, uh, I think that this would not be advantageous for us right now.
Yeah, I guess like maybe it's like her essentially saying, I'm not a thoughtless weapon.
Exactly. Yeah. Which that I think is equally impactful and interesting. So, um, cool. So what does so unless you guys have anything else to say to him, how do you guys leave that room?
I kind of want to take his cot as I leave, but that's just me being petty.
If we've learned anything about Matthos, it's certainly that he is never ever petty.
Yeah, you're right. I'm taking the cot.
It's like part of me like wants to, because I do want to scare him a little bit. Because to me, he's like questioning,
You've
like
got him started.
by questioning the ship's ability, he's also just questioning all of our ability.
Hmm.
Okay.
So, Mathos, you willing to play ball on something that could go really wrong? Only
Absolutely.
for you.
Oh. Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
All right.
I'm
So
about over this shit.
What
you
does
got like a bowl or a spoon, right?
does that quote unquote conversation happen non-verbally, I'm assuming? Or are you saying words like that out loud?
I'm assuming we
No,
wouldn't
not out
say
loud.
that out loud in
Mhm.
front of him. I think Fawyt just gives me a kind of like questioning look, and I look and I just like, yeah, all right.
Just like giving him a look that like I'm about to do something. Don't freak out.
And I'll just look at her and kind of shrug. Yeah, why not? And yes, I
So-
would have a bowl of stew or something. It's gone now, but I still have the empty bowl.
So I'm gonna volley one of my axes and smash that bowl, sort of in like a I move so fast sort of deal.
Okay.
And if this goes well, I'll have some cool shit to say, but let's see if it goes well.
Oh
Okay,
God!
so
You're gonna chop my fucking hands off.
so volley is
It's Dex, so
but to throw the thing, right? So you're throwing your axe.
yeah, I want to like throw the axe,
Okay.
specifically aiming for the bowl.
Okay. All right, do it. Make that roll. Matthos, I will give you for your conscious consent here. I will give you the opportunity to roll an 8.
Yes, please.
Beautiful.
A
All right, take that 10. So that 8 gets you up from a 9 to a 10.
I was gonna say, if you don't, please take negative 1d6 damage.
So yeah, I just want to like in the blink of an eye, just like the axe shoots out, shatters that bowl as it's in his hand. I'm saying like this goes off and it looks like, you know, there wasn't like a little bit of a knowing glance or anything like that. And then I want to turn around to Kolvar and be like, just so you know, this ship isn't the most dangerous thing to the Armada.
I wasn't done with that.
And then as we walk out, I'll wrench my axe out of the wall.
And the bowl falls. And he's got 2 halves of a bunch of chips of a bowl hanging out in his room on the floor now.
And then I stick my head back in and throw his cot back on the floor and say, "Fuck it, you can have it," and walk back out.
So you bolt the door back up, and you're walking back across this room towards the door where Richolas is stationed. It sounded like Matthos, you had something to say. Is that now, or is that while you're
Yeah,
walking back up,
before
or
we
what?
get around somebody else, probably.
Okay, does that include Richolas?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're walking, sort of halfway across this room.
Hey, Fawyt,
Yes.
I may have entirely misread that conversation that you had with Kolvar, but I just want to make a couple things quite clear. None of us believe that you are a tool to be used in this group, and that when your usefulness is outlived, you will be disposed of. You are one of us. You have your own free thought, your own free will. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. Don't let us give you orders and follow them blindly. You are your own person.
Matthos, even I'm just realizing that. But do you know anything of how how the church runs?
Do I?
Probably not much. I mean, because you were traveling around. Let's see. Do I have the map here?
I spout lore? Nope, I definitely can't do that. Nope, I sure
that's
don't.
actually a great roll to do. I don't have that map in here, do I? Yeah. So no. Yeah. No. You don't know anything.
So my answer to that would be, I'm not big on organized religion, or religion in general. I know of them, and that's the extent of my knowledge.
Then you've lived a better life than me.
I'm sorry to hear that, but this is your life now. Make something of it. Make what you want of it.
I don't know if she'd even know what to say to that. Maybe I'll try.
Okay.
For you, Scott. For you, Scott. Just I peek behind the curtain. She was an orphan. She was taken at 6 years old.
Oof. Oh no.
Yeah, it was rough. It's rough for little Fawyt. Great. That was beautiful. So then you both of you sort of walk together out to the door, and Rickless is there, and I feel like this walk happens back up in mostly silence. It seems like is what would be the thing to happen there. So you walk back up through these winding corridors and arrive back um, up at like the back of the bridge and back up out to the top of the foundation area, where it's now sunset and the sky is just like lit up in all these wild colors. The the rings around the planet are uh, especially bright as the light from the setting sun reflects off them. It's like you know, dust caught fire in the sky, and you make your way back to your rooms, I guess.
I'm gonna tell Rickless to send a message to what's his nut.
To Taryn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except I actually say what's his nut because I'm really bad with names, and that's just Matthos in
Part
general.
of the character now.
Yep, that is becoming part of the character, and I'm rolling with it.
I Rickless I think picks up what you're throwing down there, and acknowledges that before he walks off to did I
Also, give Rickless a heads up that what's her face is also joining the ship
uh-huh.
along with Hawkface and some others.
A few of the other refugees.
I told them to go get some information for me and then come find you if they needed anything. So you're in charge now. Thanks, buddy.
Very good. And he goes off to his part of the quarters in the I think he's taken up residence in the sort of the kind of crew uh bunk area. Maybe he's got like a small little officer's um room off to the side of that. But Matthos, you go up to your uh kind of hollowed out captain's quarters. Um, and Fawyt, what is your room like? Is it are you do you think your room is up in the keep as well? I think that's where we had.
So I keep on trying to like think of this, and I almost think like based on her like the way she was raised with the faithful of Artir,
Mm-hmm.
I we kind of described it as like Spartan. I think she'd actually be more comfortable, like at least sleeping with like the crew, like being surrounded
Oh,
by
okay. In like the the bunk room, basically.
Yeah, like she might have her like own, like maybe a closet where she keeps her things that are important to her.
Okay. Is that in that bunk room, or is that somewhere else? Like, do you have like a secret closet
I think it
somewhere?
would be somewhere else. Yeah, she
Okay.
would be secretive about it.
So there's like a room that you have like quote claimed as your room, but you only have the closet that you use in there, and you actually go sleep in the.
Yeah, like sort of something like that.
Okay, I love it. I think anybody, uh, yeah. By the time you get back to the bunk room, there's like one or two of those. Oh no, they're not back yet. They wouldn't. They'd still be over in the in the galley. But, um, uh, you, yeah. the For the sake of painting that, you've got your sort of bed that you're uh sleeping in. I don't know. Are they? You think they're beds or like hammocks or something or?
I think when we initially were doing this and the ship looked more like a ship and not a
Mm-hmm.
flying mountain, we did hammocks.
Okay.
But at this point, I think it would almost be like bunks.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I think you've got your bunk like off in a corner or somewhere, and there's definitely like a good, especially because this place is really big for the amount of people you have in it right now. There's a very large separation between where you have your
Yeah,
bunk and where the other people are comfortable having their bunks.
I guess. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like your bunk in the corner, and then there's like
And like her corner isn't lit well or anything.
20
It's just
20 bunks down is where the other people are actually have all their stuff.
yeah.
um, Great. So, uh, awesome. So you send a message to Taryn. Um, what are you specifically looking for from him in the message that you sent him, Matthos?
I'm basically going to say, hey, he's proving to be more difficult than I imagined. Um, I'm not sure what we can really do because we don't know what he cares about or what he wants out of this.
Mm-hmm.
But you're welcome to come pay a visit if you like, I guess. But it's probably not going to do you any good, and you need to keep it probably on the down low.
Okay, so you're just basically offering him to a visit if he wants,
Yeah,
but not
if he
like
if he needs closure or something because his partner turned on him or was bad the whole time.
yeah.
I mean,
Um,
sure.
Great. So if that's your request from him, I think the next morning or whatever, the response you get back from him is that he's good.
Cool.
Um, so is there um yeah, like I said, this we sort of abstract this out a little bit if we want to, but so is there more visits that you guys make to him down there, or are you just kind of letting him go until you can sort of prove the ship to him, or what's kind of the play with that?
Do I think it will do us any good? Is my question.
I kind of want to observe him.
Okay.
Maybe use my stakeout move.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. So what does that stakeout look like then? Is that you like going in there, not like actually going into his room, but just like going down there and like watching him basically, or
Yeah, sort of just passive observation,
mm-hmm.
but like not letting him know I'm there.
Right, right, right. Hiding in the shadows, perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Go ahead and make that roll. That's really good. That's a 15. Um, Great. So um are there any of those questions something you're looking for specifically, or do you have I don't know. What are you looking to get here, basically?
Um, just sort of like essentially what I'm trying to see is like, is anything having effect on him? Like, is he being, is he becoming like more cooperative based on the situation? I mean, there's like, what here is not what it appears to be. I still, I mean, I'd say what here is useful or valuable to me.
Hmm.
I think I could still learn some more from that.
Yeah, I think so. I think the stuff you kind of get from watching him. So Rickless comes down here and gives him regular meals. And takes his bucket out and stuff. um, and for a prisoner anyway, sort of takes reasonably good care of. He's not like neglecting him or anything.
Hmm.
He's very very orderly, like he's always coming down at the same time. That's just kind of a Rickless thing. Um, and the I think the biggest thing that you notice from him is that like you can see for a little while that this is wearing on him, and I think especially in those moments when you really get the good moments where he's really just by himself. At first you get a lot of him pacing, that you can get more of a sense of how deep that worry actually is for him, about what's gonna happen to him, um, when kind of when the Armada gets uh, realizes anything of what's happened, um, and then as if this is going on for days, you can notice that some of that starts to bleed away a little bit, and you can see him kind of settling a little more as he's here. So there's a certain amount of that comfort, uh, in a strange way, of being in this dark hole, and that he's you know coming to realize what you've said to him, that it's going to be hard to get at him here, basically. Um, and the the for you, I think the valuable part of that is the I think the confirmation that, um, he's getting to a place where I think if you're able to show that you're you all as a group are sort of putting effort into gathering your strength on this ship, um, that uh, that there is more that he would be willing to do for you, with the promise of that protection, basically. Um, and the other, yeah, I think there's one. This is such a with such a good role. I think there's one other thing I can sort of assure you of here is, um, that maybe you get him, again in some of these worried moments, that you can faintly hear him sort of muttering to himself, as if he's like trying to not forget things. um I think, like,
Oh,
trying
okay.
trying not to forget information. um but that you get this sense that there is a not insignificant amount of, like, you know cunning and intelligence on this guy. This is not just like, um basically, you get the sense that this is a guy that was not just some like rank and file dude, that he knew stuff um, or knows stuff, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Cool. Anything else with any of that then?
I'm going to. I kind of want to ask Rickless to maybe make him a little more, like, a little more comfortable.
Okay.
Like, maybe actually. I don't know, like an actual bed or something like that.
Yeah, just little.
There's no way around the bucket, unfortunately.
Yeah, but so slightly better accommodations, maybe better meals and things like that.
Oh, that, but I think I want to set it up with Rickless that like the improvements to his cell.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go find Rickless. I want to tell him to take him on a walk to the top of the ship.
Okay. So where do you find? So you want to have a little conversation with Nicholas?
Yeah.
Where do you find him?
Oh God, I don't even know. Where would I find him?
It's a big ship. I mean, I guess a way to imagine this out a little bit is how do you imagine uh you know more inactive days going on this while you're aboard the ship?
I feel I mean, I kind of imagine Rickless as like sort of the old school idea of a quartermaster.
Mm-hmm.
He's like directing people around. So,
Yeah, and he's got his budding little group. He actually, I think at some point in here you get that he's calling this little group of his, the Correlation Guard.
okay. I feel like he'd be in the keep. I would know that, so I would go looking for him in
Sure.
the
Yeah.
keep.
Yeah.
Maybe to wherever he set up his little office for the correlation guard.
Okay. Great. So you find him in there, and he's working away on something. He's writing some kind of reports or looking over charts and stuff. And
I feel like Fawyt's style is she doesn't even knock; she just
just
enters.
sort of walks in. So he's looking over his charts and whatever, and he takes a second and he sort of leans back in his chair, and then notices you in his peripheral vision and startles. Oh, uh, Fwit, how can I help you?
I need to talk to you about our friend down in the foundation.
Of course. What can I do?
We need him to be more willing to help us. And to do that, we need to impress upon him the strength of our group and the strength of this ship and our maybe budding chances against the Armada.
Hmm, I see. Did you have anything particular in mind?
First of all, myself and Matthos can't be involved in this because if we are, it's obvious that we're trying to impress him. But if you could take him around the ship, let him see that we were not exaggerating about how mighty the vessel is. Maybe have the did we ever give the weapon a name?
I
I
don't
can't remember.
I don't think so. But yeah, the magical napalm thing.
Yeah, the magical napalm stuff. Maybe have a weapons test that day.
Yes, I think I understand. I think I may be able to. Yes.
Also, let's extend an olive branch and make his living conditions slightly better.
Of course.
Again, there's no way around the bucket.
There never is. I will make arrangements and it will be done.
Thank you.
So here's I think what we should do. Um
I'm 100% going to be hiding in the shadows the whole time. I'm not going to let Rickless walk me around.
Without any sort of help.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I don't want to tell Rickless that because I want him to feel important,
Aw, that's nice.
but I 100% don't trust him to be able to do this.
So here's how I think this works. I think this is a move to this I think is a do their thing follower move. When a follower does something chancy within the scope of their tags or moves, roll plus quality. So this is going to be Rickless's quality, which I think is going to be. I haven't. I think his quality currently is +1. Yes, that's what I'm going to go with. I haven't said that yet, but that's I think the most that he is fully capable. He has an eye for detail. So go ahead and roll 2d6 +1.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom, so I might lose you.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll that, and then, so it'd be a 7.
Okay, great. So on a 7 to 9, they do it, but there's an unforeseen cost, consequence, or a limitation. Ask the GM what. Okay, so I think at your request here, he goes a good uh he yeah, okay, so here's what happens. So he tries he goes out of his way to try and organize this whole thing. Like I think he starts trying to um uh tries to lead up into it a little bit. Like he just starts like uh taking the prisoner for walks a little bit, and whatever. Uh and then kind of quickly scales up into this sort of big kind of charade where he's sort of organized out this whole thing where even though he's only got like 10-15 people in this little correlation guard group he's got so far, that he's kind of putting on this big play basically where he's has he's gonna walk Kolvar past this place where you can see in this room where there's a bunch of people like training, and then they continue on, and the people that were in that room sort of like quick run around to this other place so that when they pass that room they can see them doing
Oh,
this stuff in here, and does this whole thing sort of like going on like that, um, uh, and puts on this big charade where he's trying to really prove and show off the strength of this ship and the strength of its people, and sort of going on this whole big production, um, and uh, I think so. I don't think it's fair to say that he like catches a glimpse of you or something, because you have that thing where you're able to completely hide in the shadows. So I think what happens here is, um, with you watching, um, I think you're able to see two things from him, especially having spent the time to be watching him over the course of a couple days. You're getting more familiar with sort of interpreting his particular brand of poker face, um,
yeah.
and uh, one, I think you can see uh, that he catches on a little bit to what's going on. Like he's paying enough attention that he can see, like, oh wait, that's the same person. They like sort of changed their shirt and
He's smart
stuff.
enough to remember a
Um,
face.
yeah, I mean, Rickless was really trying, and he had people like doing quick change costumes and stuff, and all this stuff, but he was able to catch on enough to sort of see through it a little bit, um, and that he also is able to tell that the progression of this happened a little bit too fast, right? That
Yeah.
it wouldn't be just like, oh, I'm going to take you on a walk out, around the hallway here, and then come back, and then like a day later we're out like walking all over the ship.
Yeah.
Um, so there's that bit of knowing that he understands what's going on, but at the same time I think you are able to see um, legitimate uh, that he is legitimately impressed to a degree with what this ship is, um,
Like maybe he
so
didn't realize it was a whole city.
yeah, I mean, because he would have been brought in, I'm sure, with like a sack over his head and whatever, so he wouldn't have really gotten to see what's going on here. So he can see what now he can see what this ship is, um, but he can also see that the 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 that there is that discrepancy between the power of the ship and the power of the the force on it right now. Um, So yeah, so I do think that that bit that you've really keyed him into how awesome, in the truest sense of the word, this ship really is, uh that 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 has probably you know swayed him a little further, um and the yeah, and I think in noticing this, you're also able to see him have a little bit more of that comfort. There are parts of the ship where you can see him, like out on upper decks and stuff, where he does start to get a little what you notice, knowing him as uh, having watched him so much, as sort of nervous. It's really subtle, but you can like detect those couple little ticks. Um, but for the most part on this ship, you can actually see him uh, a little more relaxed than you might expect him to be. Um,
Ooh.
so that he is with the comforts that you're giving him, and all that he is beginning to become, having some level of comfort with the ship here. So, Great. Anything else with that?
No, I just at some point I would probably go down and try to talk to him, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it would be enough yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the the talking to it, yeah, is good sort of narrative stuff to have. I like the um you know the ideas of that and everything, that there is this sort of
Hmm.
progression to um acclimatizing him to the atmosphere here, um and that you can see that that is having an effect on him.
Yeah.
um but yeah, I think the bottom line is you know you need a little bit more power up before he's willing
Yeah.
to give up some of what he's got. Um, so yeah, so maybe that's something we revisit a little later on, um, or something. Um, Matthos, are you back yet?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. So I think that's unless you guys have anything else you want to touch on. I think that's mostly it. I just have one other little thing um, that I think we should do before we wrap.
I think that's it for me. I just wanted somebody to go find Brack,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
um, AJ's probably a dead character. The least we could do is go rescue Brack and bring him back into the fold.
Yeah. So we'll have someone.
I had a dream that they were trapped and in trouble, and
I say I haven't been listening to their sessions. Is it going badly?
They actually haven't had a session in a while.
Oh, they haven't. Okay.
Because of all the scheduling stuff we're trying to. But the spot we left them off was not the best. um, actually,
Last I remember is I believe they may have met a war tool.
yes, they
Okay.
did meet a couple of them.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, they met up with one, and Brack kind of scared it off a little bit. It was a pretty awesome thing. But then I think they made another bad roll, and like got woken up in the middle of the night by like another like big alpha one, like a second one showing up. So
Oh, nice.
good, good,
Sorry.
good, good times. Um, Great. So one other thing here, I think Mathis, in the course of whatever you do during your day, you are asked. I think we get um, uh, Javin, the little Ricklis's little kind of like page squire cabin boy, whatever. Um, he I don't remember if I said anything. I feel like I was assuming that he was human last time, but I've changed my mind, and he is a little barblish boy, like sort of 16, 17-ish, um, like olive skin, mostly black hair, but like one of his legs is red hair, so it's like black hair on one, red on the other, just for fun. And his little antlers are still pretty short and stubby, because he's young. Um, but anyway, so he comes and finds you and informs you that your presence is requested in the workshop.
yeah, sure.
So he leads you down there. It's just pretty like excitable little boy. You can like the trunk thing on the back of his head is sort of like wags a lot. Um,
That's really weird.
I mean, you know,
I don't say that out loud.
he's an enthusiastic little barbush boy. But anyway, so he brings you down to this workshop, which is starting to get kind of built up with the tools that you guys brought back from Third Shoulder. It's this real big open area with like a bunch of columns and stuff throughout, um, and tons of tables and the beginnings of some kind of like forge things, and they're really starting to get things going here. You can see Nylarenthi is in there, and she as you pass her, she's like sort of working on building some stuff, and she's working hard, and lets you know that she's hasn't heard anything back yet, but she has gotten people out asking after Bracken Orn.
Awesome. As soon as you hear something I need to know as quickly as possible, please.
Absolutely. And she gestures you on to the back of the area, where there's a sort of a smaller section of the room that kind of breaks off, where there's other more sort of like delicate little crafting tables, and you can find like vials of liquid and stuff, and things like that, and you find Iridia there, and she is dressed um, nicely but practically, um, uh, and she's over there working on some stuff, and sees you come in, and looks over and says, "Ah, Matthos, welcome."
Oh,
And she sort of runs over to like a storage container that she's got over there, and she says, "I very much appreciate the things you were able to procure for the workshop. As you can see, it's going reasonably well. It's too bad we weren't able to get some of the more particulars, but we can certainly work with what we have. Um, some of the people that have come to help down here already, Nylarenthi has been great. I mean, can you like a blacksmith with 4 arms? Like, how useful is that? That's amazing." And she kind of sort of babbles on a little bit as she's like digging in this chest, until she finally goes, "Ah, anyway, um, I unfortunately I know I promised some like fancier smoke bombs. Um, we we don't have the materials for that yet. Um, but instead, what I was able to put together for you, and she pulls out this big um, uh, kind of lump package thing, is this. And she hands it over to you, and you, as you pull off the sort of outer layer or whatever it is. Actually, I have a question for you. Um, it is either uh, a belt or a bandolier, which is cooler for Matthos.
ooh, mmm, mm. I feel like it's probably. Fuck it, it's a bandolier.
It's a
Yeah,
bandolier.
it's
All right,
the bandolier.
dope.
There was only really one choice.
Yeah, I mean,
So she's sort of like there, pretty excitedly, sort of watching you as you're opening this thing up, and she immediately sort of gets right in there and is like pointing out all these things, and basically it's got these like sort of slots where you can hold some special slots on there where you can sort of hold some smoke bombs of kind of like discreetly under your jacket or something, and sort of like points out all these little like pockets and slightly hidden compartments and things on it, and you can tell she's really proud of it. Um, but she's made this fancy bandolier for you. So mechanically, what I'm doing, a smoke bomb weighs 1 weight, right?
Yes.
Okay. So mechanically, what you're getting here is that you can carry 2 smoke bombs for 1 weight
Oh, okay.
on your.
So I can still carry 2? Is
Yes,
that my max?
yes. Because
Okay.
you were. Did you have a max of 1 before?
For some reason, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think were you.
Nobody really knows why. Just some person told me I wasn't allowed to have multiples because it was breaking the game.
That's weird. That's so strange. So yeah, so you can hold 2 on this thing. And like I said, it's got fun little pockets and compartments that you could fit some of your like throwing knives and whatever, so you can have fun with that. But
Beautiful. Already, if it wouldn't be weird, I might kiss you, but it would be very weird, so
that would
that's
be
not going to happen.
very weird.
Good. Glad we're on the same page.
And then she shoos you off and saying she has work to do.
Also, when did you get so nice?
I
didn't
would
say
take that as an
sauce.
I would take that as an insult if I didn't know you better. Do I? Either way, look, I've got lots of toys to play with right now. It sort of
And I
puts me
will
in.
bring you many, many more if this whole relationship that we have continues to be profitable for
If
me.
you're looking to put me in a good mood, these are the kinds of things that will certainly do it.
Can do.
And she gives you a little salute as you walk out.
Don't do that. God damn it.
And then
Have you been
cracks up
talking to
laughing.
Rickless? Have you been talking to Zahida?
Bye bye.
Since we're having a scene in the workshop, can I get my ash?
Yes. So this is why I was gonna save that for this. So how does that go? Do you you said you were doing this yourself, or did you want to have help doing this?
Nah, I want it to be like myself.
Okay. Um, so you Yeah, so you wander into this workshop as people are setting things up, and what does this look like?
Um,
Uh,
I mean, just because of the funny interactions with Iridia, I want to scare.
Okay,
But
so
maybe she's like super engrossed in something.
so is this something that because
It can be removed.
yeah,
It's
so
like
the sense that I get for this is that this is something that you like kind of have like a like it would be something you have like in a pouch, like prepared, and that when you're ready
yeah,
to go, you know do it up, and then
yeah.
uh go to town. So is this a thing where you've collected some like blood and ash, uh, or whatever, and are sort of doing little like experiments to try and find the right sort of formula and combination and stuff.
Maybe because I was trying to think of how mechanically it would really work because it's from the shaman
Mm-hmm.
class.
I mean, this
And I think,
feels like that's something that's probably at least partially animantic in
yeah,
nature.
but I feel like, oh, excuse me. Um, like maybe I came just down there to just be like, I need like, what are those things that you mix stuff in? It's like a rock bowl,
Oh, like a mortar and
mortar and
pestle.
pestle,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And like literally, that's all I'm asking her for.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, Iridia, I need something from you.
Oh.
briefly.
Okay.
A
I
mortar
need
and
a
pestle.
rock bowl.
I need a rock bowl and a rock stick.
Aha. Yes, I have at least one of those around here. And then she sort of points you over to I think it's over on the table over there.
And then like I'll grab the bowl and just wherever the closest fire is at,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just scoop ash out of it.
Okay.
And then I want to say somehow maybe from the what were those animals I killed? I can't remember the
The
name of them.
Tilbarash.
Yeah, the Tilbarash. Just because they were so close to, they were they're cat-like.
Mm-hmm.
So they're sort of like this world's version of the panther that is my
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
animal. Like somehow I have blood from that, or maybe I killed another one or something.
Sure.
However that shakes out.
Yeah.
But and I just like pour obviously it is blood into it just right in front of
Did
her.
you after that fight where you killed the three of them, did you like that night you had your clothes were soaked in it and you're just like wringing out your clothes into like a little
I feel like Fawyt's often covered in blood.
still like sitting
Better save this for later. It might come in handy.
sitting there in your tent just like wringing out drops of Tilbarash blood into like a little pouch or something.
And then yeah, maybe like mixing it together and like just sort of testing things with
Mhm.
animancy. I know I don't have blood as a strength, but I also
What?
don't have it as a weakness.
Oh
So
yeah,
maybe
totally. What are you,
given like
what are
a long
your
amount of time.
what are your two?
My strengths are instinct and sense, and my
Okay.
weaknesses are bone and spirit.
So um instinct and sense. So here's how I think we can mechanically explain this. Um I think this is um some kind of weird like almost sort of like drug kind of substance that you're sort of infusing with this um I guess it could be one or both of instinct and sense. So where that when you're sort of when you have this stuff because it gives you plus armor, right?
Yeah, just +1 armor.
So I think this is the kind of thing where when you sort of are made up in this stuff, it gives you this sort of kind of sixth sense type thing, where
Okay.
you're able to sort of make that last second dodge out of the way, or you have what I mean. It's like turning your senses up to 11, or your instinctual reactions and stuff like that.
Yeah, sort of like she, you know, moves in a way to make the blow
Mm-hmm.
less. So
Yeah,
it's like it's
exactly.
armor, but it's not like a physical armor.
Right. Yeah. It's the way that like in Dungeons and Dragons, you're like a higher dexterity gives you more armor
Yeah.
because you're harder to hit.
Yeah, because in the shaman, the way it like the whole shaman class reads, it's like more like you're scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I totally buy that.
But
Um.
yeah, I could see that for this.
So yeah, I think yeah, I like the version of this where this like takes you like a couple times to like come back and sort of experiment a little bit more over the course of like a day or two or whatever. That everyone's like kind of a little freaked out by your presence in the shop where you're playing with ashes and blood and stuff in
Blood.
this little um yeah, and then eventually you're able to sort of get the right kind of formula of this to make this what does it look like if you have like a
It's
pouch of it or something? Is it like a paste or
Yeah, it's like a paste. It's a paint because I imagine because it says when you paint your face in blood and ashes, gain +1 armor as long as you are wearing this
Okay.
funeral mask.
So
But I was like, imagine,
it's like full on
it's
Rambo or Arnold Schwarzenegger in whatever that one movie is.
well, I was thinking more like a Hellblade,
Oh
Senua's
yeah, okay, okay,
Sacrifice,
sure.
where it's mostly across like her forehead and her the eyes area.
Yeah, nice. Okay, I dig it.
It's to make her scary.
It's to
Let's
make her
be
scary.
honest.
Yeah, dope, dope. One other random question: where do you narratively, at least, where did you get the idea for this?
Mm, if you have any suggestions, I'm not sure on that one.
um,
That's-
I I'm almost wondering if because when you were out with your panther sense, I'm wondering if there was, like you're saying, there's maybe some kind of connection that you sort
yeah,
of briefly felt,
yeah.
that gave you this like, I wonder if there's something there. Um,
Because like with all my moves, I'm trying to lean into the panther a lot.
yeah, and so I think the lean into that sort of hybrid kind of animantic thing is cool. It's almost this sort of like passive animancy in a way,
Yeah.
um, which is neat. Cool. Anyway, well, I think that'll about do it. Unless either of you has anything else.
No,
No.
that went about as well as I
Fantastic.
really expected.
Oh, Dan, did you look how I changed the alignment
Ooh, I didn't.
slightly?
That's a great.
And I was thinking of changing what it's actually called.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very subtle difference.
Um. Yeah. The So in terms of mechanically giving XP and stuff, I think trying to think if the interesting part of this is you
Choosing not to?
making
Or like choosing to like,
making the choice
yeah.
even. Um, so I think there's potentially something there.
Because I was thinking of changing it from lawful to like, and this is probably just because Mass Effect is about to come out. Justicar.
Uh-huh.
And it's more about because I'm almost willing to tie it to the choice of choosing not to kill someone.
Yeah.
Whereas in, 100% she's considered a murder machine.
Mhm.
So like going against that.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. So yeah, I mean, think about it and play around with it and see what you get. But I think that's something good there, and figure out what you want to kind of settle on. Great. Um, Mathos, do you remember if we did end of session stuff at the end of your interlude last time? The one with you and Rickless.
With Rickless, I
Yeah.
think so.
Okay. All right.
Well, did we? I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't think we did because I would have got a point for my alignment for the first time ever.
Yeah, you would have. Ah. Okay. All right. Then we should probably follow that example then, and not do that. Okay. Great. Well, that's all for now. We'll come back another time.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.